You know, a funny thing happened to me the other night. After that, I went to bed. When my mama read me a bedtime story, it was an old Australian folktale entitled Goldilocks and a Few Beers. Yeah, I didn't get out much in my youth, you see. My mother was afraid of the weather. Flacco, she said, Flacco, get out of that wind. You never know where it's been. And then, quite paradoxically, she buys me a kite for Christmas. What am I supposed to do? I sit in my room all day. It's a cruel world. You know, I spend hours at this, and all I seem to catch these days is Christian symbolism.
Right now, I'd like to do one of my favourite songs from The Sound of Music. How do you solve a problem like Maria? Don't try that at home unless you have a full can of petrol and some matches. Tasteless. You're probably sitting at home thinking this is exactly the sort of thing you'd expect from an Australian comedy trio. Well, right now we'd like to prove you wrong and raise the moral tone of this evening and do something tasteful for a change.
Thanks very much, Mr. Ferguson. Right now we'd like to do an impersonation of the beautiful, yet somehow haunting, Miss Helen Keller, as she sings the Marty Robbins classic, Cool Water. It's gay our face, the barren waste, without the taste of water. A cool water.
Helen Keller, ladies and gentlemen. I do my mother. Soft. Calls of complaint have been flooding into this station. Basically, what's happening is many people are becoming upset because they are the wrong people watching this show. We would now like to eliminate those people who are not part of our exact target audience. Now, for a start, if you're a student and you're watching the program, please switch off now and go and do your bloody homework.
That's right, Tim. And if you're an ugly person watching the show, please turn off as well, because no one likes ugly people.
Sure. Also, poor people, switch off your TVs, take them out, sell them. You won't be poor anymore, will you? Licenses are expensive.
And I happen to know there's a lot of old people out there watching now. God love you, old people. You're national treasures. We do think you're beautiful. But for your own sake, please turn off now. Because I know so far the show has been rather sexual. Now, we don't want you old people sort of getting a bit happy about that and thinking you can do the filth yourself. Because quite frankly, the idea of old people having sex is to young people like myself a bit of a disgusting thought. Just the visual image it conjures in the mind is rather tasteless. The idea of you sitting there in front of your television sets, getting up on the old walking frame, saying bugger that and tossing it aside, and then throwing your old bodies onto the old lavender-scented sheets there in the bedroom. And by the way, when you've got cataracts, you're old, you've got cataracts on your eyes, you can't see those horrible scabs that are forming all over your bodies. And by the way, old people, you know, if you're trying to get your tongues into each other's heads for the first time in about 30 years, if you're trying to do the tongue stuff, then old people, the mouth is a cavern of disease. There's probably blood and spit and phlegm and saliva in there, for God's sake. And old people, if you've got dentures, they'll just slide in and out and in and out and in and out. And we know what that sort of thing leads to. So for your own good, old people, please turn off now. God love you.
Thank you, old people, for being so understanding. Please switch off. And of course, we've gotten rid of the poor people, we have gotten rid of the ugly people, and all the students have switched off. And that just leaves you, the young, the beautiful, and the wealthy. Just one question. What are you doing watching television?
Outside, spend some money.
Yeah! Go home, rub uglies in the dark. Switch your televisions off now.
Switch them off.
Switch them, switch them off.
Young, be
Don't be
careful.
cheeky. Switch them off now.
That's
Switch
right,
off.
Joe.
That's it.
Off.
Switch
That one over there. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Yep, they've gone. Okay, Jeff, you can turn it back on now. Thank Christ they've gone. What a pack of wankers.